Though hockey remains Canada's national sport, soccer is its most popular, at least in participation. The 2023 Canadian Youth Sports Report showed that soccer was the most popular sport for children aged 3 to 17. Canada Soccer says there are nearly 1 million participants playing the sport across the country. In BC, more than 122,000 people are registered. And as we close in on next year's World Cup, local soccer clubs have identified a problem.
We're at record numbers. We expect the World Cup to have a significant impact on the growth of the game. And frankly, the problem we have is we have nowhere to put the kids.
Stuart Ince is the president of the North Vancouver Football Club. The club has more than 3,500 kids registered for soccer on the North Shore.
We have a lack of turf fields. We're cramming kids onto small spaces. We need more turf.
And therein lies the challenge, the need for more places to play. Currently, many of the youngest participants are forced to practice on gravel soccer pitches or in small school gyms.
If we add more kids, and we expect quite an explosion of growth in the younger age groups, where do we put them? We only have so much space for the kids to play on. Think about how difficult it is to learn technical skills on a muddy, hard gravel field as opposed to turf. Grass is very difficult for us in the winter here on the North Shore because half the time the grass isn't playable. So we need more turf. It's the only way that we can develop the game in this area.
There's close to 1,000 kids who still practice on gravel fields. And though they used to be acceptable to play on, that's no longer the case, according to Steve Kendall, North Vancouver Football Club's senior technical director.
When I grew up and when we played soccer in the 80s and 90s, it was pretty much the norm to be on gravel. But now in the Lower Mainland, the norm is to be on turf. So the ones that are still on gravel, it's just not as acceptable as 1986, and it just feels like you're training on a third world sort of facility when you're on gravel.
There are currently 6 full-sized turf soccer fields and another 3-quarter-sized field on the North Shore that the club has access to. They say they're working with the local municipalities to try to find more space.
The district has been a little more responsive than the city. We have had a reasonably good dialogue with them, but it's hard to get them to invest. And that's really the big question, is investing in infrastructure.
Mike Little is the mayor of the District of North Vancouver.
So we're in the process of converting from gravel to grass and artificial turf field in a number of cases. So district-wide, between us and the school district, we have over 54 sports fields available to sport. But in the last number of years, the soccer community has decided they want to push more towards the artificial turf. It's taking us some time to make adjustments there. We've completed 2 artificial turf fields in the last 3 years, and we also did a major upgrade and rebuild of the William Griffin artificial turf field as well.
City of North Vancouver Mayor Linda Buchanan declined our interview request for this story. But the district mayor says his municipality is in a challenging location to build more soccer pitches.
We're on the side of a mountain here. It's not always easy to find properly drained spaces that can be level throughout the size of a football pitch. And so it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes to convert some spaces over. We have a number of fields that are on top of a former landfill, but as that the land is settling and the biological materials underneath are still degrading, it's not a great place for upgrading to permanent drainage and permanent facilities. So we're kind of waiting on some of that. But we've been doing a lot of conversions recently in partnerships with our school districts because they're great opportunities to get lighting on them as well.
Other clubs in Metro Vancouver are also seeing an increased interest in their soccer programs as well.
It's growing in terms of participation like massively, and I think just the population has grown a lot. So just like the roads, like the school system, Surrey's very congested. So are the soccer fields and the sport fields, and all of us sporting groups are feeling it.
Jeff Clark is the sporting director of Surrey United Soccer Club. It's one of a handful of youth soccer clubs in Surrey. Surrey United has over 3,000 members, and that number continues to grow. And they're coming up against similar challenges to North Vancouver.
You want to have a policy where you don't turn any participants that want to play away. With that brings challenges. Little guys and girls, they're normally in school gyms, and there's not enough school gyms for them with the population growth. So to try and get them outdoors, now you're fighting the inclement weather and the cold temperatures that Vancouver can have. And then that will impact participation. So I think it's the right resources for the right ages.
But Clark says the soccer community in Surrey feels supported by the city.
Surrey's been one of the leaders across Canada, coined the city of parks. Mayor and council have really demonstrated that. Some of the facts, I mean, Surrey is the fastest growing municipality in Canada, so you can only put so many fields online with the cost of turf fields nowadays. So I think Surrey's doing its best, but population's outgrowing the new resources coming online. So we are on a bit of a crash course as sport providers, and our current sitting mayor and council have been outstanding. They've really put the kids first.
The city of Surrey has 18 artificial turf fields currently in operation. A handful of new turf surfaces are currently under construction. And Surrey United is working with the city to build a new indoor soccer facility at Cloverdale Athletic Park. The new facility replaces an old gravel field and is costing $7 million to build.
So this is the site of the new facility. It's also going to be a 100-stall parking lot here, which is going to be a huge impact on the park and the community. Hoping by next summer it's completed, and it's going to be really convenient for all our other programming. It's taken 3 years, solid years, getting all the permits and proposals approved, and the construction itself will be 10 to 12 months. We're hoping September 1st, 2026, and again, right on the back of a World Cup when all the excitement's at the highest levels, and we can capture it.
And Stuart Ince agrees the legacy left behind by the World Cup creates a great opportunity.
There are going to be so many young kids that are going to want to take up the game. And that's great for our sport, but where do we put those kids? That's the biggest issue for us. How do we accommodate them? We want them to have the best experience that they can, and cramming kids onto the small amount of turf fields that we have is not a great experience.
So while adults continue to battle for more places to play, young players are focused on the game at hand. Zameer Karim, CBC News, Vancouver.